What a thriller in Cincy, the head coach exhaling after the win.
Just how long the game was, overtime. I mean, that took every second of that overtime. I mean, offensively, we had 3 possessions. Defense got 2 stops. Challenge these guys, man. Leave it all on the field, and we'll take care of you next week in this final game. And they did just that. The defense. I want to start with the defense. I mean, 2 stops in overtime. It was unbelievable. Kind of given the momentum change that maybe got us there in overtime. For them to rise up and get those 2 stops and allow the offense the shot to go win it, big time stuff. And then, just offensively, these guys just keep moving. And I know how many punts we have, the 1 in overtime maybe. And so again, we had some 4th downs that fell short. That hurt us where there's no points there. But I thought overall we were pretty efficient. I know the sack number is going to be high for us. Because we dropped back and threw the ball quite a bit, because we were having so much success, and there's a myriad of things there that were the reason why, and they're a good rush front, but we felt like we needed to keep putting the ball in the air to keep attacking them.
Can you talk through the math at the end of regulation?
Yeah.
How that kept changing?
Yeah. Well, the injury changed everything because we were going to be able to, I believe, kick the walk-off field goal with about 10 seconds left, and no one's fault. I mean, so we were telling Chase to slide at the 1 because we figured they were going to let us score there, which he did. He did a great job. Unfortunately, got his ankle, and so then they charged us with the timeout. So then that changes everything. And so now you're in a 2nd goal on the 1, and yeah, you can down it and make sure they use their timeout, and then try to score a touchdown from there on 3rd down and maybe kick it on 4th. But it's just, you saw our little red zone against them. I mean, it's tough all day. They're going to play goal line against every personnel you got. Nothing was easy for us, especially the runs down there because they got you so overmatched with their personnel. And so we just ran the quarterback sneak and told Joe to score. And if you score, great. If you don't, then they'll have to use their timeout. We'll try something else. But and then just put it on the defense there to get the stop. And unfortunately, they scored on the 4th and 1, but then the defense rose up in overtime and got it back for us.
After Cade missed the game winner in overtime, did that change the plan if you got the ball back?
It doesn't matter. We scored, so I don't have to answer that.
Yeah, Zach, after Cade missed, I mean, Denver could clinch with the tie and probably was planning to run the clock out.
Yeah.
How important was it to get the 3 and out and get it back?
That was really hard for me to process because people were asking me that question, what Denver needed to do, and it's we're just trying to win the game. And so, they ran it a couple times there and then threw it on 3rd down, and so saved us some, not that the time was going to be critical. I thought we were going to have plenty of time to go down there and do what we needed to do. So it's an interesting situation, that there's a lot going through your mind. You're having to process it. You're having to make really quick decisions. It was a tough game. There's going to be a lot we're going to review over the next several years, I'm sure, from this game that'll teach us a lot about how to handle some of these situations. But I thought our communication was really good. Just some really challenging situations we were in.
How do you characterize the JT?
He's a warrior. He's fighting through a lot there and just keeps rolling out there and keeps winning these one-on-ones. And that game winner was a play we talked about, after one of the first couple red zone drives where it was tough. We were low red zone, and so let's just give T a one-on-one, on the same route Jamar scored on against Pittsburgh in the opener a couple years ago down here at the buzzer. And so he's just, it's just so hard. They want to take away one of our guys. The other one's going to go win. And then you look at Dre and Mike. I mean, Dre had, 100 and something, and Gesicki had 10 catches, I think. And so we had a lot of matchup problems, and our guys stepped up today in a big way.
Coming into the game, was there any jeopardy that T might not play given the knee? I know we didn't ask about on Thursday.
No, he maintained, what is today, Saturday? Tuesday, the first meeting we had, he brought his phone to the meeting, and he texted me. I was in the back of the room. I'm playing. So, it's early in the week, so I just kind of let those guys get their space early in the week to get right. But he was sending me a pretty clear message that he saw personnel up on the screen and said, no, I'm playing this game.
He initially wasn't in the personnel you had out there.
Well, we always have to plan. You never know. I mean, when a guy doesn't finish the game, it's early in the week. Trust me when I say we do this all the time. So that's nothing big, but that was his way of telling me early on, you're going to have me.
For a guy like him to have a night like tonight, have the injuries throughout the year, have the fumble in the 4th, what does it say about his resiliency he's had all year?
He's been resilient every step of the way, fighting through stuff. When he's on the field, he is a warrior, I mean, looks so good in warm-ups, man. Just when you watch our guys run routes, it's I know everybody sees it, and it gives you a lot of confidence when you walk on the field to start calling plays for some of the guys we got.
Can you take us through the second to last play, the 31-yarder that set up the game-winning touchdown?
The 1-to-T on the sidelines, yeah. I mean, there's just so many situations you learn from over the course of the season. We've been in this situation a lot. Baltimore a couple times. And so those are moments. There's been, okay, so we're beating them on slants, okay? Same thing against Baltimore. You go to the well one too many times, and Marlon gets us, in one of those last ones. So you learn a lesson there, and all right, we hit him on slants. Now we got to run by him, take a shot on a go route. And that's what T won on. I'm pretty sure that was we called that play a million times in this game, so I think that's what we did there. It might have been a conversion. I can't quite remember, but Joe trusted him to go make a play, and he did.
It seems like you guys have been able to get a lot of production from Joseph Osai recently. You said Johnson getting a sack today. How much did you feel like those guys played an impact?
Yeah, and it starts with practice. They practice really hard. I mean, they practice like it's the game, and so you feel confident that that's going to translate for them. And you just, I've said this before, I stand right behind the quarterback, the scout team quarterback, and I almost get hit on every single pass play because those guys are on a mission, I think, to make sure that they can affect the passer. And they've done a great job of that, especially recently.
You talked about the short yardage and how tough that was. And what was it that was so tough going down there? And were you coming into this game with an idea of going for a lot of fourth downs, or was that just the way?
A lot of those just fell in areas where you got to go for it. And one of the one we got stopped on the first drive was a fourth and pretty short inches. And so we're going for it. Unfortunately, we didn't get it. The little red zone inside the 3. In this situation, I was going for it. And so we went for it. It didn't work out for us. They do a good job. I mean, they got great coaches. They got good plans down there. They make things really hard. We had a really good red zone plan that I really believed in, that Riscotti and Pitch had done. It's a great plan. And it came up for, we had, I don't know how many little red zone plays we had in this game. It felt like 25 of them, and so we were just making it up. The last play is we just made it up, drew it up, and it's not hard for the guys to handle, but we're kind of off the menu at that point, and our guys are smart players and they can handle it.
Zach, so many games.
Man, all you really want after you started the season the way this team did is a chance. And they've got just that heading into Week 18. Mac, that's my favorite Tom Brady stat. He never played a snap of football, mathematically eliminated from playoff contention.
Yeah.
Well, mathematically eliminated. Not the fate of the Bengals just yet. They do still need help. They need a win in Week 18. That they control. They also need the Broncos to lose to the Chiefs, something we've seen plenty of times before. The Chiefs likely sitting plenty of starters. The Dolphins need to lose one of their last 2. Same goes for the Colts.